Good day, everybody, and what's up? Welcome to the podcast for Selfless Sex and She Comes First. Today is June the 9th, 2026, and I hope everyone is doing okay out there. Granted, yes, it is still very rough out there, but I hope everyone is doing what they can and surviving. Real talk. And to continue on with the same theme I started a few weeks ago, there is a new sex word of the week. So, this week's sex word is the G-spot. The G-spot, short for Grafenberg spot, is a highly sensitive erogenous zone located on the front or anterior wall of the vagina, about 1 to 3 inches inside. Named after a German gynecologist Ernst Grafenberg, stimulating it may lead to strong sexual arousal, intense orgasms, or potentially female ejaculation. The G-spot. So to close out with the final third of the Lick series, if you haven't listened to the other two, if I were you, I would go back and start with those. Today, I'm going to end this series with a discussion all about the Grafenberg spot, otherwise known as the G-spot. So, let's not waste any time and get right into this topic today. So to start this discussion about the G-spot, let's talk about what it is and where it's located. So, the G-spot is not a distinct separate organ, and instead it is understood to be a part of the internal clitoral network involving the urethral sponge, the Skene's gland, also known as the female prostate, and other surrounding nerves. So where is it? It is located on the vaginal wall facing the belly button. When aroused, the tissue may swell and feel slightly spongy or textured, similar to that of the roof of the mouth. Now, depending on your lady, the sensitivity may vary. Experiencing pleasure or orgasm from the G-spot stimulation varies wildly among individuals. Not everyone finds this area sensitive, and it is completely normal if that is not a source of pleasure for her. Please keep in mind, the vast majority of women out there do not have a G-spot. I will say this again. Please keep in mind, the vast majority of women out there do not have a G-spot. Why? That's just how biology works sometimes. So how actually do you stimulate the G-spot? Now what's interesting is, even though I did include this topic as a part of the Lick series, unless you're Gene Simmons from the old rock band Kiss, most likely you will not be able to lick it. Why? Your tongue will have to be probably at least 5 inches long and have a curve at the tip. So let me tell you why it's probably really tough to lick it. As I said earlier, it's located about 2 to 3 inches on the inside of the vagina on the anterior wall. And it may actually feel slightly textured, like the roof of your mouth, or slightly spongy. So the best way to stimulate the G-spot is probably with your penis, a sex toy, a purpose-built G-spot stimulator sex toy, or your fingers. And I will talk about your fingers first. So before we even get to this point, if you are going to use your fingers, please make sure you wash your hands and you trim your fingernails and you get all the dirt out under your fingernails. Why? Because if you happen to find the G-spot and start to stimulate it and you scratch it, it is going to hurt a whole lot. And that lady will not be happy. So, start slow. Make sure your partner is highly turned on before even attempting any sort of internal stimulation. So if need be, please feel free to add an additional type of lubricant. Water-based would probably work the best in this situation. you're going to take your two fingers, your two pointer finger and your middle finger, and you're going to insert two lubricated fingers with your palms facing upward. You're going to curl your fingers back and forth and give a come here sort of motion against the front of the anterior wall. Or if you're able to actually feel the G-spot, you kind of say come here to the G-spot. You will vary the pressure. Some women enjoy light, rapid strokes, while others may prefer a deep, firm pressure. Now here's where it gets fun. If you're able to do it, it's always a good idea, or I highly recommend, from my own personal experience, stimulating the clitoris at the same time you are stimulating the G-spot. So you can use your mouth and your tongue on the clitoris while using your fingers to stimulate the G-spot. Next question. Can you stimulate the G-spot through a variety of sexual positions? And the easy answer is yes. Some of the favorites are doggy style. If you penetrate your partner this way, you can easily angle yourself, the guy, to actually come in contact with the G-spot, especially if she arches her back or lowers herself onto her forearms. Cowgirl. Now, if she is on top, it allows her to control the depth and the angle of the penetration, so she can adjust herself to best hit and stimulate her G-spot. And spooning. Lying on your side offers a great angle of hitting the anterior wall while maintaining easy clitoral access. So in this sense, you're having doggy style on your side, but at the same time, it's easier for you to reach around, guys, and stimulate her G-spot. Also, there are useful sex toys out there that are actually designed for G-spot stimulation. I could do a short list of them, but I won't. I'll let you do your own exploration. But if you just Google G-spot stimulator or G-spot sex toy, you will come across some that typically run between $150 to $200. Now, these G-spot toys have curved shafts and rounded tips that do all the angling and rhythmic massaging for you. So basically, she or you just have to hold them in place and let her move herself around to hit her G-spot. And also, external pressure. You may be able to press gently down on her lower abdomen or mons pubis, just above the pubic bone, while internally stimulating the G-spot to push the G-spot down into closer contact with your fingers. Now, I'm not saying to mush or mash down on her stomach or anything like that, or her mons pubis right close to her pubic bone, because that can actually hurt. But a gentle pressure may be able to change the angle slightly of the G-spot, so you will have easier access to it, and or the sex toy will have easier access to it as well. So before I go, let me say this. I had a lot of fun putting this lick series together, even though it was a quick, short 3-podcast series. It's always fun to talk about different ways to pleasure your partner, and oral sex is one of them. And I hope everyone out there develops their own technique and learns how their lady likes to be orally stimulated and just enjoys it as much as I do. Because I discovered, due to my lady's work schedule, she has to get up early in the morning. She likes to hit the snooze button. So yeah, she can be snoozing, but I'm not snoozing, if you know what I'm saying. I'm putting in some work. All right, good. So she goes to work happy. There you go. And sometimes, it's not always about me. It's about her, and being a very giving partner and understanding partner. I just hope everyone had a good time. I hope you liked and subscribed to these podcasts. I'm going to try to keep them going. I've been doing these off and on for a few years now. So, on that note, I'm out. You guys have a great day. Stay tuned. And if you like Gene Simmons, give him a call. He still has his 8-9 inch tongue, whatever the hell it is. And I will talk to you soon.